so that we can make our idea much more better and improve it. This is our team Nepal. And this idea is prepared by the best efforts of all my team members. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate my team members for preparing this idea. And regarding the background, I'd like to make it quite brief. It's a brief background about the context of Nepal. In Nepal, 62 households and 67% of the population are engaged in agriculture sector. So agriculture is a major contributor of the economy of Nepal. And Nepal is ranked as the 10th most affected country from climate change. So we have chosen the agriculture for our innovation or for our prototype. And regarding the insurance, agriculture insurance is not exactly new in Nepal. It was started in 2013, and the uptake has overall, increase in overall crop insurance has not gone up as expected. So we have chosen the agriculture insurance as our prototype, and only 9% of the population have been using non-life insurance product in Nepal. So this is the data. And regarding the collaboration with A2II, Nepal participated in II lab with the objective to increase the insurance uptake. And being a part of the lab, we had conducted a survey with the farmers from different regions to understand their pain points. And we have identified the three major areas. One is awareness, one is product, and one is distribution. So these are the major pain points that we have identified through the interviews and other discussions with the beneficiary and expected beneficiaries. And the major problem statement we have identified is a lack of insurance awareness. Because although these all are the pain points, but the insurance awareness is the major factor that should be considered. That's why we have chosen the insurance awareness for the program. And for that, we have decided to go for interactive voice response system as our prototype. So this is the prototype we have chosen, and along with this prototype, we have other prototype, it is a product. We have dropped the idea about distribution. So our friend will also explain about that, because we thought that is not quite feasible at this stage. We'll work on distribution as well in the near future, but as a prototype for this particular project, we have chosen the two major prototypes. And at this point of time, we have focused on IVR. So regarding the IVR, my friend Omkar Pandey will elaborate a bit about IVR that we have created.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. 139%. That's the ownership of cellular SIM card in Nepal. 42 million SIM cards are distributed in the population of some 30 million. That's so there is a huge mobile ownership. But all of them are not using the smartphone. They don't have the internet access. So we try to bridge gap by connecting these two dots. There's mobile ownership and there's active insurance. So we decided to work on interactive voice response. For that, they don't need internet connection, they don't need a smartphone. So this can be made accessible to all of them. Let me give a brief introduction about IVR for those who are not aware about this. IVR is a technology that allows humans to interact with the phone system through the use of voice and input via a keypad. Why IVR? As I briefly touched earlier, there's a lack of awareness which is creating a bottleneck to increase the insurance uptake. And we are trying to leverage the mobile penetration. So for that, we decided to design the IVR. And in the IVR, we tried to look at what are the gaps in information. We decided that gap in different stages. First of all, there was lack of information, so the people are not purchasing insurance. That was one major gap. Second, people are purchasing insurance, but they are not sure, they are not fully informed about the terms and conditions of the insurance products. That's one of the gap. And even after that, for the claim facilitation and other things, the postal services, they were also, we identified gap. Based on that, we try to come up with some of the information that can be relevant, that can be helpful to nudge them to purchase insurance, to provide the information that they require to make informed decisions to purchase insurance. So we included information of crop insurance, livestock insurance, claim process. We also tried to touch upon the information about the impact of the climate that farmers are having, so that they can relate. Even the risk, they are increased risk they are facing because of those climate change can also be informed, along with some component of the disaster. In addition, we have also included things to consider while purchasing insurance, so that they can have at least some basic level of information to make those informed choices. And we also got the feedback that in addition to some of the basic information that we can provide, if you can gamify this experience, if you can provide the reward to those participating in those exercises, thanks to one colleague from Senegal who proposed that idea, and yesterday we discussed about this and we found that it is feasible and it will be effective. So in addition to IBM, we will also be adding the component of gamification, where we will be rewarding the participant based on the right answer they gave. So that's how we have compiled the information. So here's a prototype of IBM that I would like to share.
नेपालीका लागि एक थिच्नुहोस्, क्षेत्रीय भाषाका लागि दुई थिच्नुहोस्, बारी बिमाको बारेमा थप जानकारीको लागि एक थिच्नुहोस्, पशुधन बिमाको बारेमा थप जानकारीको लागि दुई थिच्नुहोस्, दाबी प्रक्रियाको जानकारीको लागि तीन थिच्नुहोस्, जलवायु मैत्री कृषि र विपद सम्बन्धी जानकारीको लागि चार थिच्नुहोस्, बीमा गर्दा ध्यान दिनुपर्ने कुरा र अन्य जानकारीको लागि पाँच थिच्नुहोस्।
So we have good to yeah. In front of dragon speaking like that, it's so we have the basic prototypes ready for in case of IBM, what types of information we would like to include, what would be the flow of information, what are the soft categories of each of the information, and the basic part we have already developed. Let me take you to the execution plan. These are the information, but we need to reach out to the farmers that they needed information. So what's our plan? So in terms of area, we would like to start with a small area. And Nepal is divided into three topographies: mountain, hilly areas, as well as the plain terrain. So we'd like to cover each of the sections and start with a few selected areas to pilot. We will be using different channels to reach out to farmers, because they need to know where to call, what kind of information to expect. So cooperative is one of the channels that we'll be using. Local unit, there are 753 local units, and local unit is one of the key areas where farmers interact. And local FM is another area. So we also plan to link with insurers. Those getting information, if they decided to purchase insurance products, we'll link with insurance providers there. Next. In terms of language, there are many local dialects in Nepal. So we'll be starting with a few of them so that they can better understand, and we also feel that that will increase the ownership. Next. So in terms of approach that we'll be taking, we'll be starting a phase-wise approach. First of all, we'll be starting with the basic information. We are exploring how quickly we can include the part of gamification that will be done. And we'll be starting with inbound call, where farmers will have to call to a specified toll-free number. But we are also thinking about expanding to outbound call. For example, if we have a number of farmers who are interested, potential farmers who might purchase insurance, we can provide that information. Farmers who have already purchased insurance, we can provide all the set of information that is there. And we can also gradually increase the product line as well. So that's the thinking we have. So in terms of operating model, during the year one, the regulators will oversee the implementation, whereas all the team members that are participating, they will be part of the committee that will be formed to support the execution, oversee the execution, and we will also prepare the modality of operation. So from next week, second year onward, our plan is to provide this ownership to market. Regulators might not be always be doing this kind of thing, but once it comes to a certain stage, we will transfer this ownership to market players. There are association of insurance companies so that they can run, as well as individual insurance companies we will be passing them. So as we pass that, we will also expand to other products, not necessarily to just crop insurance and livestock insurance, other form of insurance products, micro insurance products can also be included. So that's the operating model that we have. So in terms of potential impact that we see, in year one, we would like to do a pilot for 6 months and then maybe expand a little bit. So we expect to reach some 5,000 farmers by the year one. And once this pilot is completed, we will transfer the ownership to all the insurance companies so that we can have magnifying impact, and we expect some 100,000 farmers to be served in year 5. With this, so as Pooja ma'am said, IBR awareness was one part of the bottlenecks. The second idea is on the product. So for that, my colleague Suman will be explaining.
Thank you, Mr. Hello everyone. So today I'll take you on a journey of our integration. So initially, after conducting extensive research or interviews with farmers, we found affordability is one thing that we need to work on. So we got the idea of small ticket loans. And after that idea, we started doing some more interviews with cooperatives, with farmers. And what we found was small ticket loans were already available to farmers. Farmers could easily access $1,000 worth of loans without any collateral within a day. And what we decided, when they are getting that loan, still not solving the problem of insurance. We asked some of the farmers to access loans, and we found one thing. Most of the farmers who took loan, they have done livestock insurance, most of them. And only few had tried crop insurance. And we started asking another one. Why did you enroll into livestock insurance but not crop insurance? And the answer we found was livestock insurance is, the claim process is easy to understand. Farmers, they understand the claim process. So for example, in case of Nepal, when the cattle is dead, the farmers get 90% of the sum insured. That's fixed. No one can change that. And when the cow or buffalo is infertile, they get 50% of the sum insured. So they get the idea, okay, how much will I get when there is a loss? So that was one thing. And we also asked why to farmers who enroll in crop insurance. And what we found was most of them enrolled just once. They didn't repeat because they had to face a lot of lengthy documentation. So most of them didn't enroll again. So that was farmers' perspective. And then insurance companies' perspective, what we found was, okay, most of the farms in our country are in remote areas, 80% of them. And they are scattered. So if there is 1 acre, it will be in 5-6 places. And it's operationally expensive for insurance companies. So that was the findings when we did some more interviews after we had the idea of small ticket loan. And we framed the problem like this. So farmers struggle with understanding crop insurance claims, while insurers face high costs serving remote, scattered communities. How can we simplify claims and reduce operational costs to ensure equitable insurance access for all farmers? So right now we are exploring many areas where we can intervene with this problem statement. And one of the potential area that we identified is weather or satellite-based indexed insurance. We believe this can solve both the problems. The problem of insurance companies with high operational costs, the problem of farmers with not understanding the claim. Because the index, it's fixed and it's faster claim settlement. They don't have to go through lengthy documentation. They don't have to visit ward office for recommendation. They don't have to write intimation when they just aren't able to read. So that's how we come up with this idea. And the process is quite simple. This is just an ideal scenario. We haven't got time to extensively work on this idea, but we are definitely sure this ECLAC is not just this moment. It's a lifelong process. So we'll continuously start doing research and we'll try to come up with an innovative product. So here how it goes. So first step would be trigger points. We identified to protect farmers from climate risks. It should be either heavy rainfall or drought from the start. So we'll find actuarial models which can be either through micro weather stations, or it would be even better if we could identify any satellite-based meteorological observations. That doesn't necessarily need ground-based sensors. That doesn't necessarily need maintenance costs. That doesn't necessarily need distribution. It would be quite easy if it would be satellite observations. Step 2 would be farmers. They have feature phone. Most of them aren't aware how to use smartphones. So they just type in USSD, for example, asterisk 420 hash, and then they just type farmer's name, their address, citizenship, and they also type in their bank account and pay small premiums. And then with the micro weather stations that we set on top of cooperatives. Okay, so this is a simple process. So after the trigger point is met, then the payment will be done. So I think this is it. Thank you so much for your attention.